Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now in today's video I'm going to be discussing with all of you some reasons why you should get Fallout 76. Even in lieu of all the actual criticism that this game has been getting, I'm going to convince you to go to your local game store and pick this game up. Now I'm presuming that if you're watching this video you are a Fallout fan yourself, and that is why you clicked on why you should get Fallout 76. But, for your information, there will actually be a part 2 to this video. Yes, I know, exciting. That will be reasons why you shouldn't get Fallout 76. So in a way, it's sort of a two-way pros and cons sort of concept. So it's two videos basically covering the pros and cons of Fallout 76. But I'm just going to hit the ground running and start with my main point. And that is, it's a bit more Fallout. And I know that might seem quite general and very, very open to interpretation, but just hear me out. I've got a few mini sections that we can go through that might sort of persuade you and change your mind. So to start off with quests. In Fallout 3, New Vegas and Fallout 4, you are traditionally given quests by NPCs who are living and breathing. Although I say living and breathing, they're just lines of code in a massive array of line of code. But anyway, in Fallout 76, you are given quests primarily by robots and terminals, and you may feel like you're going to lose the personal element of a quest, but trust me, you won't. Especially personally for me, I feel like it's a better experience than in the other games. This is because although you are given a brief audio log about the character whose quest you are pursuing, you get more by getting less. Because then all your quest is open to interpretation. And I find that absolutely fascinating, how you are actually pursuing the journey of someone who was unable to pursue that journey. Whether they were killed by raiders, or by the impending nuke, or even just died of radiation poisoning, or just died of old age, you know. Any circumstances at all. But you are pursuing this quest because someone else couldn't. And in a way for me, I feel that that has more of a drive to complete a quest than ever before. Because you are taking your own steps in someone else's sort of steps, if you get what I'm saying. That was a really weird way of analogy, I guess. But we'll keep going. Even though the audio logs are brief, you get quite a big synopsis of what the character was trying to do. And I like that. Because then their quest is open to interpretation to you. You can finish it how you want to. Or you can choose to not finish it at all. Especially if you get like a weapon that you don't actually want to give away if you get given a weapon in one of the quests. But my other point is that world building. Now, Fallout 76 takes place 25 years after the nukes went out. So we are literally experiencing 25 years of mutations and new information being gathered, but also old information being stored. Now this means that we are most likely getting entries, from what I've seen, we are most likely getting entries from pre-war America. So we'll be seeing documents in terminals that relate to before the war, and we'll be seeing terminals straight after the war. I think that is pretty cool because you can see the progression of what our character has been through. And I quite enjoy that. And even though this game is more of a survival game than an RPG, it still does incorporate the world building very well through areas and even through character dialogue, or robot dialogue, if you can put it that way anyway. But also, the one thing that I do enjoy about this game is the fact that it's similar yet so different. Now I recently went back to play Fallout 4, and I thought I'd come playing in Fallout 76 thinking that it's just going to be the same game over again. But the survival-esque elements of the game changed the gameplay dramatically. It's not like me going from Fallout 4 and thinking, oh, I'm just playing another new Fallout game, because they're two completely different experiences, and I'm really enjoying that. It's a fresh new sort of take on playing a Fallout game, and I'm genuinely enjoying this survival aspect in Fallout 76. Now speaking of world building, we see new enemies. And not always brand new enemies, but new takes on classic enemies, such as ghouls. In this game, we see ghouls who are actually firing weapons and using proper weapons against you. And that's pretty weird, considering I'm straight off the back of Fallout 4, where all ghouls do are realistically whack you in the face with their irradiated, fleshy, melty arms. So it's very different being attacked by actual ghouls with guns. And even stuff like Mothman, and I genuinely have forgotten the name of this dragon beast. It's sort of like a massive bat with wings, yet it's got scales and it shoots out some massive sonar sort of projectile thing. It's all like the dragons from Skyrim, and it just shoots at... Oh, it's just phenomenal how they've just brought in these new enemies to give a fresh new experience to everyone who's playing this brand new game. And I just think it's great because it's not just the same old for all the original or just previous Fallout like gamers. It is amazing the fact that I can just play the game and not think it's just Fallout 4.5, because it's not. They have genuinely incorporated so much into this game which differentiates it from the previous entry. And there's nothing more I can really say on that other than Bethesda did a really good job with their world building, especially with the locations that they have put into this game, which look absolutely phenomenal. Everyone is actually saying that this game is basically bare bones. But if we remember a game called No Man's Sky, that game was hyped up to the heavens, and when released had nothing really that they promised. And that game was torn to shreds by its community for the developers lying. But eventually, through multiple updates, free updates I might add, they have created a phenomenal game where there are multiple hundreds of millions of trillions of quintillion of planets to explore. And now it is worth it. Do you know why? Because I believe that the live service model isn't as bad as everyone says. Because Fallout 76 is a live service. They will be bringing new content into this game. I don't know how often. I believe they'll do it fairly often if it is a live service game and to keep the player interest at its peak. But this game is live service. And so that means that hopefully there will be multiple community events that will keep the player base interested in Fallout 76. And progressively the bugs in this game will be patched out. If not very fast, they will be patched out most likely fairly slowly because we are still on the creation engine. But they will eventually be patched out, and hopefully this game will be crisp and everything that Bethesda promised, especially because we're having free DLC. How many times have you thought to yourself, I'd love to play Fallout with friends, I'd love to play Skyrim with friends? Well, now you can with Fallout 76. There are even people still, to this day, still working on a mod to play Skyrim together. And think how old Skyrim is. They're still working it out on how to play with friends on that game. Where here, you've got an experience in a Bethesda RPG with survival elements, where you can play with your friends and explore the wasteland together. Is that all I have to say? That is phenomenal. We actually have a Bethesda game which you can play with friends that isn't co-created by id Software if you count Elder Scrolls Online. Which I don't, to be fair. But you can play with friends. You can raid other people's villages. Well, not villages, but their other buildings. You can set off nukes. You can find codes to blow up other people's bases with nukes. That is pretty cool. I'm genuinely being serious. I am absolutely loving the co-op aspect of this game. Even if you don't do quests, exploration is such a key factor. And this map is so big that you could explore for over, I reckon, 100 hours before you get bored. Especially if you're playing with friends. And I'm being genuinely serious here. If you play with friends, I reckon you can make the most fun out of it for at least 100 hours. Even if you don't do quests, the new areas that you can explore, the new codes that you can find, I reckon would make this game worthwhile. And the last point I have here is that the music is phenomenal. It's Fallout music. It's what this game is known for. The soundtrack is great. The radio station's great. Even the trailer with the Beach Boys, Wouldn't It Be Nice? That is a phenomenal trailer. That just makes me want to play Fallout 76. These games are known for their soundtracks, and they haven't just recycled the same old songs. They've incorporated new songs, so you're not just listening to the radio and thinking, I've heard these before in the last 3 Fallout games. But no, you actually have new soundtracks to listen to, and in a way I kind of feel that soundtracks influence how you feel when you are exploring. For example, if you was listening to Wouldn't It Be Nice, just off the top of my head, you'd be thinking, you're having quite a lot of fun, even if you were just walking through the wasteland. But that's personal to me. You guys might have a completely different opinion, but for me, I think I feel pretty jolly just walking around listening to that song. Now, I know that this video was quite brief on most of its points, but I didn't want this to be a half-an-hour video, honestly. But I want to thank every single one of you for checking in and seeing this video. It means a lot to me. And don't forget, there will be a part 2 to this on why you shouldn't get Fallout 76. And that will be out as soon as I can make it. But thank you, everybody. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.